Only one, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury said he's knocking out Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. I'm so frustrated. In 2 rounds in the rematch. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. It is Fight Week. Conor McGregor, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Use my link, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Order the pay-per-view from yours truly, and it does help the channel. Now, they kicked off a press conference. Didn't know if we were going to get one. Initially, they said there was no press tour, no press conference. Later, I got an email, and you guys watched the press conference, that they did one on Monday. And Tyson Fury boldly predicts a second-round knockout. Says WBC heavyweight champion Wilder Fury set to meet, and they met face-to-face in Los Angeles, yada, yada, yada. Fury claimed things would go differently this time. Quote, "I won't be running. You won't have to look anywhere for me. Just watch out for the right hand. You're going to sleep in 2 rounds. 2 rounds, he's going down. That's all I'm looking for. One big right hand, nail Deontay Wilder. Good night. That's the game plan." They fought twice in 2019, padding their records. That's a horrible from ESPN. How do they pad their records when Wilder fought a #1 ranked Dominic Breazeale and also fought against Luis Ortiz, and doing their best to build interest? I mean, I'm just going to get to the quotes because that's horrible from ESPN. Looking back at the first go round, Wilder said Monday, "I came in with one arm. I broke my hand in camp. I only had 12 weeks and 4 days to train. This time around, I'm in full health. I've got both of my hands together. I'm unstoppable. So you just don't know what's going to happen. In rematches, I'm always better than I was the first time because of what I've seen in the ring and what I've experienced with an opponent. So the second time around, the preparation is a little bit easier because we understand what they are trying to do. My IQ in the ring is very high. That's why I'm able to set guys up and get rid of them in devastating fashion." Fury, amused by rivals' words, quote, "Deontay Wilder can make all the excuses he wants to make in his own brain. His team can tell you he won the fight. Baby, you won the fight. Well, listen, as a fighting man, you know when you win and lose fights. Simple as that. He lost the fight fair and square. He will lose the fight again fair and square." So, interesting stuff. Fury said he's absolutely looking for a knockout. I don't think that's advisable. I think Tim Bradley of ESPN is trying to get Fury knocked out. He was on the last ESPN telecast, and he was saying that Fury should keep, with this new team and the Kronk team, step to Wilder. And, I think that's a highly dangerous game plan, at least how Tim Bradley was saying it. Listen, it's not bad to try to bully the bully, but we unpack coming to you live with this Unpacked. Let's unpack this. This is what I live for. What people fail to realize is Deontay Wilder's talent. Like, people keep acting like Deontay Wilder, this is just by some like strange force or stroke of luck, people just keep getting knocked out. The man has hurt everyone he has ever faced. That is some feat. There's a lot of formidable punchers like Gennady Golovkin and Pacquiao. They're not hurting, let alone knocking out every single person badly. Like Danny Jacobs, I don't even know if he was really hurt in the fight. I understand he got knocked down, but there's different types of knockdowns. And in my opinion, my personal opinion, I think he just got caught because he was playing around with his standpoint and trying to go from orthodox to southpaw. And he was like alongside the ropes, and he got caught with something he in transition, didn't see coming. And then he went down, but he got up and started fighting better and harder. So, Wilder has this ability where he's literally hurting and bruising and battering and, bludgeoning guys who are way bigger than him. And so far it's been 40 plus people. Everybody has met the same fate. Even Tyson Fury. Yes, he somehow, divine intervention or whatever, he got back up. but you will see pictures floating on the internet of him unconscious, eyes rolled in the head, eyes open, and just really out there, spaced out from Wilder. And here's one of the pictures of the knockdown. The thing is, Wilder is not giving, I like it. I hope old media, because this is what old media, a lot of them fuel all this stupid stuff saying Wilder can't do this and stuff. I hope Wilder is a massive underdog. I'll put some money on Wilder. I hope the odds are ridiculous. But see, this is the thing. This is the problem with old media. They're a bunch of liars, cowards, and shapeshifters. So what they say and what they type, they don't mean. Because when it comes to the sports books and the sports betting, odds for the fights like this, especially in the rematch, sense of a rematch, all these people that are fine, you can find them on boxing scene forums and all types of, chat sections and Facebook groups, and all these people from my YouTube videos and Showtime, Fox, PBC streams or whatever that are saying X, Y, and Z. When it comes to put some money up, these people will be nowhere near. Listen, as the fight gets closer, the odds will be close. And, even I think Fury might be the favorite right now, but that'll get, as the fight wears on and you start seeing the shoulder programming, I look for that to change, period. This would always happens. I remember being in Las Vegas for the fight with Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. And then, as a popular YouTuber who covers boxing, I was seeing a ton of people in the comment section talking about Ward's going to get, bodied and knocked out and it's horrible and Ward should have never taken the fight. And, this is the worst mistake he's ever made and he's not ready. He's too small. They were saying all this stuff, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. And then as soon as the odds were released, I remember being at the MGM. I seen the odds that they had for the fight, and guess what? Ward was the favorite. This is the first fight I'm talking about. So once again, people, they don't keep it true to what they type. That's why the internet, you got to be careful what you see. I also feel what you see on the screen right here, Wilder Ortiz. I think the rematch helped Wilder. I think it helped him. Here's why. Because Tyson Fury, his best chance to me was to go straight, use the momentum from the December fight and do what they were going to do and do an immediate rematch, because then you would negate and not give Wilder the opportunity. So the reason why that to me was a bad move for Tyson Fury is simply put this: we unpacked. Because Tyson Fury, I don't think he so much did anything crazy wrong in the first fight. He trained in Big Bear, high altitude. He brought in experts like Abel Sanchez and Freddie Roach, and he had Ben Davison. His weight was down for that fight, stuff like that. And he boxed well in the middle rounds. He boxed well. So he didn't really do anything quote unquote wrong, and he still ended up on his back twice, right? Wilder has so much growth that he can actually put into his memory bank and grow from. And I think that's exactly what happened. So it's just, it was a bad move from Top Rank and ESPN to stall this out, because if they would have went like they were going to into a straight rematch, the rematch was already sold from the first fight. Both fighters were on Joe Rogan. Everybody was talking about the first fight, and it was only going to go up for here. Mayweather is this era's smartest businessman, because he knows the business. Strike while the iron's hot. When he fought Marcos Maidana, the first one was allegedly controversial. It was a good fight though, and he did an immediate rematch. There's a reason for that. Do an immediate rematch because now you can ride that wave from the first fight, period. But Top Rank and ESPN got in the way of that, and then they didn't ride the wave. So it gave a guy in Deontay Wilder who wouldn't have had this opportunity. It gave him an opportunity to grow. And I think that's exactly what he did. And he didn't get really no mileage put on him. I was at both of Wilder's fights. The Brazil fight, he got hit with 2-3 punches and it was a first round quick knockout. Everybody at the Barclays Center went crazy. So it's not like all that 8 weeks of camp, 10, 12 weeks of camp, whatever he spent on the Brazil fight, it was over just like that. time, 2 minutes and 17 seconds. So the man, the 3-minute rounds, he was in the ring for 45 seconds. So that was it. And that was May. That was right by my dad's birthday. My dad's birthday is May 16th. Shout out to the Tauruses. So he was in the ring for 45 seconds, less than, right? Didn't get banged up. Luis Ortiz was beating him, but he wasn't just, it was because Wilder wasn't really throwing. He was masking the right hand and looking for the opportunities to throw it. And he was missing, trying to catch his rhythm and range and stuff like that. And, you know, in the meantime, Luis Ortiz, it was just a great game plan from JD's, Mark Breland, and Team Wilder. They let a little bit older 40-year-old Ortiz burn off some of that energy. He was going to do what he naturally was going to do, boom, 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 and win some rounds, collect some rounds, and then he didn't really show the right hand too much. If Wilder goes into with a similar game plan, but he can't, you know, he's going to, timing is everything for Wilder in this fight. You know, I don't think he wants to let Tyson Fury get no crazy momentum or lead, but not show everything, you know, let your hands go. I mean, he just has to mix it up, really. But either way, Wilder's schedule was tougher with Brazil, the guys he fought, Brazil and Luis Ortiz. And I think he's grown from that. I think he stopped Luis Ortiz, as you can see, by knockout. These aren't TKOs. These are actual knockouts. He stopped him in the 7th round, which was the exact round that he had the most problems with Luis Ortiz in the first fight in March of the previous year. So that's a huge burden lifted and removed from Wilder's back. And he was sick in the first Luis Ortiz fight. He made adjustments in the second fight. Boom. And Luis Ortiz made adjustments. So people keep talking about how Wilder was being outboxed, but that's because that's a credit to Luis Ortiz and Larry Wade and team. You know, Jay Jimenez, they just came correct and they were in shape. You thought Luis Ortiz, career-wise, how many rounds has he really even lost against Bryant Jennings, against Wilder in the first fight? He hasn't really lost Christian Hammer, all these guys. You know, Raz Cujano, he hasn't really lost that many rounds in boxing. So that's not that shocking that Luis Ortiz got off to a quick start. He's very experienced. You know, Wilder just has so much more opportunity to grow and crispen up the work subtly. Tyson Fury is also coming off of what was supposed to be 2 showcase fights, and one was extremely hard in the Otto Wallin fight. He was cut, he was bleeding, it was ruthless, and he quickly jumped into wrestling so people would forget about that. But, you know, Wilder, your nemesis who knew he was going to fight you, he was watching that. You think he's going to forget about that cut and what you went through? Absolutely not. But I think Top Rank, you know, Tyson Fury's team, he wrote a book and all this stuff. He's going to talk the talk. And, you know, they wanted people to quickly forget about that. But one man who's not going to forget about those things is the guy who has to fight him. So I just think Wilder has so much momentum. As far as Tyson Fury saying a 2nd round knockout, you know, boxing, they're 2 heavyweights, anything can happen. But I don't really see that as being the case, especially in the 2nd round. If anyone gets a 2nd round knockout, I would imagine it'd be Wilder, because who is Tyson Fury knocked out in the 2nd round? Tom Schwartz. So you think with Wilder's power and having to watch out for him, switching trainers and teams and stuff, you honestly think that you're going to stop Wilder in the same round you stop Tom Schwartz? Tyson Fury, power-wise, he's not the biggest puncher like the Joshuas, definitely not like Wilder, Shannon Briggs, Daniel Dubois, and these other, even like F.A. Ajagbas, all these other guys with cracks. You know, in the UFC, Francis Ngannou, these guys have cracks. So I don't see, unless Wilder's fighting a horrible fight, I don't see how he's going to stop Wilder in the same round he did Tom Schwartz, because he was wailing on Tom Schwartz, hitting him with everything that he had. And Tom Schwartz took a knee. He didn't get like knocked down where he lost all his balance like Gervonta Tank Davis made Gamboa do and hurt his Achilles. He didn't do like Wilder where he just knocks people and they're just out of it on the ground. You know, if I'm not mistaken, versus Tom Schwartz, he was getting wailed on and he took a knee. And in the 2nd round, he was just shelled up like that, not throwing any punches. And then Tyson Fury was like, bow, 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 and then just wailing on him. And it was a TKO stoppage. It wasn't like no brutal knockout. you know? So obviously he was the rightful winner, but if you think you're going to do that to Wilder with everything that he has coming, it's just, to me, I can't look at that as being really realistic, because Wilder's too much of a threat, and Tyson Fury hasn't showed that type of power where you're just going to go and disrespect Wilder and run through him. You know, you'd have to show me that. He didn't. Derek Chisora, guys like that, he didn't knock out in 2 rounds. So the man that you know has hurt you and done this to you, and you got a long count, I highly doubt you're going to come out, especially how he's been looking. I just think Tyson Fury is a showman, bro. I think he's going to say whatever he's saying, get that bag. You know, I'm not going to say he's a warrior. He has heart. He's going to try. He's going to try to win. But if things don't go his way, or if that right hand connects, even that left hand, and it lands flush, man, it's just going to be murder. You know, it's going to be a wrap, because I don't think anyone in the heavyweight division can take that right head on, which Wilder somehow lands, you know, and then you just accept that and just, you're good. And, you know, I think, like I said, there's just so much room for growth for Wilder. I think part of it was Jack Reese kind of had a long count. I don't even know if he's going to be the ref. I don't know. They haven't announced that type of stuff yet, but it's just so many different variables. This is him after getting knocked down, you know, the first time. You know, Wilder seems to have all the momentum. You know, if he plays his cards right and fights and trains right and is healthy, it is what it is. Wilder doesn't come across to me as the type of person who's like a liar. The stuff he said about wanting to fight Joshua, I think he absolutely wanted to fight Joshua. Those types of things, right? So if he says his hand was broke or fractured or messed up, and we know he's had hand problems before, and we know many punchers face similar problems like Nonito Donaire, Gary Russell Jr., guys who are athletic with power, Floyd Mayweather, right? These guys all had hand problems. So Wilder fought through it in the Chris Arreola fight. I wouldn't be surprised if he had issues with his hands, you know? And when he said he was sick with the first Luis Ortiz fight, you know, look at how he looked totally different in the second fight. So I just feel like Wilder has more of a chance to reinvent himself, shorten up his shots, go to the body more, not let the pressure of your first pay-per-view and wanting to impress, or, you know, Tyson Fury's games and showmanship and, you know, waiting for Tyson Fury to put his hands behind his back and play these games. I don't see it going like that. Like all this showmanship. Look at Tyson Fury's wide open. You know, if Wilder start like trying to get in, like feint, and then I don't know. It's just I don't think Tyson Fury's the fastest person like that. You know. So and the other thing is, man, I can't wait for this fight, man. The other thing is this. Wilder came in pretty light, if I'm not mistaken. I was at this fight. Great fight. But he came in pretty light in this fight. And so far he came in at better weights that I expect in his Brazil and his Luis Ortiz fight. So I think they should just stay right in that trend. Don't come in too heavy. You know, you don't have to weigh what Joshua and Klitschko was weighing. That's not needed. You have crazy power, but come in the like 217 to 226, right around there. Go to the body more. All he has to do is just really disguise his attack and not just overly flash the right hand, telegraph it, stuff like that. Because look, this is the fight with Fury, right? The first one, he weighed 212 and a half. Fury came in at 256 and a half. So Fury's outweighing him by a ton, not to mention carbon up and then putting some stuff back in your body, whatever he rehydrated to, you know. And Tyson Fury has fought, you know, at weigh-ins. He's weighed in at, like, on the weigh-in day, 270 something. If you look, Fury was 276. That was just in 2018. So who knows what his body balloons back up to after he comes in at whatever he comes in, versus Wilder. You know, he hasn't really kept his weights too high throughout his career. Usyk came in higher than this in his fight with Chaz Tablespoon. So, you know, since then, Wilder has come in at more what I consider adequate weights. You know, but the Luis Ortiz and Fury fight, I thought he came in extremely light, 214 and 3/4, and then even lighter for Tyson Fury, 212 and a half. And they said the morning of or something, he was 209. But then you look at the Brazil fight, which he stretched him 223 and a quarter. Luis Ortiz, perfect. His body looked good at that weight, 219 and a half. So I think Wilder just has to stay on that trend and, you know, come in at suitable weights like that. And it's going to be a bad night for Tyson Fury. That's what I see. Again, I don't really see Tyson Fury getting a second round knockout. If he did get a knockout based on his style and whatnot, it would have to be late. But this is Wilder's body at the second Ortiz fight. Look how he looks more filled out and full, stuff like that. Look at his back. You know, he just looks overall better. So I think he needs to just do whatever he did in 2019 in preparation. Period. And I'm somewhere in that crowd. You know, this was a fun fight to attend. So Tyson Fury, I think he's just doing his part, doing the showmanship stuff. But Wilder, I think he has the momentum right now. And Wilder has like this strange calmness about him. He's saying some threatening things, but he's not as he's saying a couple things here and there, but I feel like Tyson Fury is more talkative. It kind of reminds me of Kovalev and Ward in the second fight. Ward didn't do too much talking. Kovalev was posting a bunch of memes and saying Andre Ward's a coward, and Ward just let him do it. And we seen what happened in that fight. So that's kind of my thoughts. We unpacked. Let me know what you guys think. Tyson Fury claims he's going to get a knockout. Let's see, outside of Tom Schwartz, I want to see who Tyson Fury even knocked out in recent memory. Okay, he did knock out Otto Wallin, and he was throwing with all of his might and bloody, and Otto Wallin was inexperienced and never been 12 rounds. He did knock out Tom Schwartz, who, you know, we don't even know who he was. He didn't knock out Wilder or really hurt him in the first fight. He didn't knock out Francisco Pianeta. Safiri, him and dude weighed 210. I don't even know who that was, bro. He knocked him out, or he retired on a stool. Okay, so Safiri with the 23-1 record coming in at 210. He didn't knock out Klitschko. He stopped Christian Hammer in the 8th round. He stopped Derek Chisora. This was a very boring fight in the 10th round. And Joey Abel, and then he KO'd a cruiserweight who moved up, Steve Cunningham, who also dropped him. This is clear back into 2013. So, you know, I don't know where that's coming from. Let me know what you guys think, because we're back into 2013 already. You know, because he had that 3-year hiatus where he wasn't fighting, which leads me to the lineal stuff, which is all BS, because how you take a 3-year hiatus and come back and you just have your place in line. That's just not how it works generally. That's like if Andre Ward comes back, he's not the light heavyweight champ. You know, he's a respected fighter, but you can't say he's the unified champ, because those belts have since went to the better Bivs and, you know, Bivos and stuff like that. It is what it is. We Unpacked, coming to you live. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. You know, I need that support. 2020. Buy the ESPN pay-per-view. Buy this pay-per-view for sure. It's going to be on Fox and ESPN pay-per-view. Make sure you order this one up, because this should be a good fight. And, you know, I'll make another video about this. Wilder and Fury, he had his own promise on what he's going to do. So, should be good. Again, smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.